There are so many things that is broken within this game called Whiplash. And today I'm going to share you some really cool skips, glitches, and whatnots. And so I did a save immediately. So when you start out in the game, you'll be prompted with this section and then you'll move on to another cinematic. So what you can do is you can quad jump, which is by pressing X square and quickly following with the action circle and then going back to X and you want to hit it twice. And that will be the maneuver you want to do. Once you're on here, you want to do the same action again and move yourself off to the far right where you're out of bounds. And you want to keep yourself to the left. You see how I did that? You want to carefully move yourself to the left so that way you can end up falling in this vent here. And if you go quickly enough, you can actually bypass this other cinematic here. But if you don't want to watch it right here anyway, you can just do another quad jump again just to get around it. And that's just bypassing the cinematic here.
Except it's on concrete and flat on my back and it's really painful.
And there are some really cool things about this where you don't really have to level up Spanx, which is your main character. You can actually turn all that down and then just crank it for Redmond, which is your bunny, your hit meter, and Redmond will level up. Hypersnacks are basically your HP. Robomice are not really a collectible. I mean, they are collectible in the game, but they do follow a certain percentage within it. But there's not a... The mice don't like to typically spawn in their desired locations, so which is kind of upsetting, even though there is a percent bar. Having 0 out of 53 mice you have to collect. And once you move on, you go through this vent. Here's another cool thing that I found out, which is if you do the same quad jump, you can actually be up on this little platform here. You're kind of technically still in bounds, but you're sort of out of bounds at the same time. If I can perform it. There we go. Okay, well. There you go. And then you can see like the inside, or at least the outside of the map here. Which is a really cool spectacle.
So to you, I am some sort of Swiss Army
The other
bunny,
way,
is that it?
please. There we go. Another cool trick in this room is you can either... There's two options you can do. You can either option A, jump on the fire tank and get yourself up to that red little spotlight, or that light that's emitting from the ceiling. Let's just call it that. And so you can either do it that way, which I will try to demonstrate. And for this method, you want to use the scurry hop extension, which is basically the same ordeal, but you're pressing L2, and you want to extend it by holding the X button. And then as soon as you do that scurry hop, the extension comes in with square and circle towards the end of those actions. So that way you will have enough leeway to get over on that platform, or at least that pillar that you're trying to go through. Because you see Spanx is going through that light. So I'll try to demonstrate it, but it's not always the easiest. That's why I go with option B. I will show you in a second if I can't get this.
You are just as crazy as all get out.
Okay. So option A, I'm struggling, of course, as you can see. So if I go to option B, which is if you could stand right here on this controller, Watch out for the death plane, because the death plane is right there. I wasn't too cautious whatsoever in my actions of platforming. So that is something you have to be wary with option B, because there is a death plane. And once you jump on that, you want to get to the pipes that are hugging against this wall. And if you're not really the most... if you don't know too much of the controls, I highly just go with option A and just practicing that route. But for option B, for me, of course, because this is a little bit more higher than the fire tank that you see over there, you can easily do the same actions as you would have done before, but you want to extend by holding down X as you go towards the pillar, because of course you're going to the red light, but you're also wanting to jump to that far end pillar. And there you go, you're already up here. And so as you can see, there's nothing really like there for you to like any leverage for you to get up onto this pillar. So that's why oh, what the hell? Is that a telephone? Are they hiding objects? Wait, hold on. They're hiding breakable objects in this game. What is this? What is this nonsense? I've never seen that. Never seen that before. Okay, well, would you look at that? I never noticed that detail. So you can either option A, you can just fall down and you can hit the switch and then go to the door, or option B, you can stay up on here and then make your way towards the end. Just be careful with how you jump. You just gotta have a lot of balance and a lot of coordination. It doesn't take a whole lot. You're just jumping. And so let's just say you fell off. So I already made it towards the end. So, for example, if I fell, I would have came all the way over here. You would just scurry. Since you didn't activate the cinematic, it would just be like this. So then you have a few of these options. You have option A, you can hit the switch, go to the door, which is up there, which I'll demonstrate right now for option A. You just do the same thing as the regular quad jump. Go through the glass and then hit the switch. This will mention the robo-mice. We'll get to that later. And then once you hit the switch, get through the door, you can just move on. Or you can use this method, which I believe I've seen Rook do, which is you can use the same scurry hop by pressing L2, but you're doing it simultaneously as you're doing the scurry hop. And a lot of these combinations that I'm doing on the controller, you can actually find in our Discord, or my Discord and Scarce's Discord server, which is the Whiplash Laboratories. If you want to find out more, you sure can. So once you're up here, you want to do the same thing, but you want to extend on the X button, so that way you can get up here in a time. So that, okay, for that example, I messed up. There you go. So up here, once you're up here, you can just jump off to your left. Okay, obviously I messed that up. I'm a terrible demonstrationist. What? Is that even a word? Okay, well, I'm just messing up now. There we go. And you just want to jump off to your left, because this is the hallway. If you jump off too far right, you might fall out of bounds. So there is this part too. You can either A, skip the text box, or B, hit it. Sometimes I don't like going into it. So what I'll do is I'll do the same thing, and I just skip the text box, but I'll run into it, so that way you have an idea. Yep, it was right there. So the trigger is like right there when it shows a action to go underneath. So let's say you go in and you missed, you know, of trying to run to this door. You can jump on these alarms that are actually a platform, and you can just jump over the door, which is pretty cool, honestly. This room is actually pretty fun too when you find yourself in either wanting to, you could jump on the first platform, or you can jump at the far end platform to get just to get out of this room. So in this scenario, I'm just going to choose the far left platform. Even though you can't see yourself, just remember the actions of the scurry hop, and you can jump on top of the pillar here, and it will act as if you are like on the ceiling. And the whole ceiling is actually a flat surface you can stand on. As if I can do this correctly. Looks like it doesn't look like it. There we go. Once you're up here, just do this same thing, and boom, you can stand on it. Now, I don't know about the other room. I might have to experiment with that. But I think this is a really cool feat that I found that you can just do with any... I believe it works for any of the pillars. I've tried it on all 4 pillars. Except for the main middle... The 2 middle pillars right there. I don't know. Maybe you can. I think I should. I believe it should go for all the pillars. And then once you're done with that, you just jump, and there you go. And I like to believe that if you are all the way up there, you might be able to actually jump on those lights that you see that are emitting. So that you might be able to go faster if you do the speedrun strat.
A little consideration.
I don't know. Just I was just seeing a, or at least I was looking at this, so I was like, maybe that might be something I might be able to utilize. So for this next part, if Enos can shut up, is if you do the same thing again, you want to jump over, and there is an invisible wall here too. And it's all completely a platform, so you can still stand on it. And then it falls, and then it stops right at the door. So you want to be careful when you get around it. And then there's not really anything else to like showcase for the museum hallway, because there isn't really anything too significant until the end of the hallway, which I believe we're getting to that point. Beat up that guy. I tried maneuvering myself to use parkour to end up passing that door. It is impossible. I've tried. So the only method I just know, and from Rock Mix, or I don't know if I'm saying that right. It's another creator that does Whiplash stuff, and then I know Ruick does it. I know Jaxler does it. Scarce has done it. I'm just naming off a few runners that just know this method, which is pretty easy to do. You just jump on the security active monitor here, and then just follow the ceiling lights. And there you go. And that's how you bypass the entire floor without having to activate it. And the door does go pretty fast, so you just want to be careful when you come this way. And then the next method, or I'm sorry, this next move here is pretty tricky if you don't know what you're doing. But what I like doing is the extended scurry hop, because you can get up there just fine. The quad jump doesn't help you as much here, unless if you jump higher, maybe Yeah, even though you won't get enough height, I do recommend using the scurry hop a lot, because you will be able to get up here. There you go. And that's essentially how you would do it. I believe you can also do it with the other side too, which is on the right. But I recommend you do it on the left, so that way you can actually come over here. If you see the next room, you can jump a little bit farther to the left, but make yourself land on where it's kind of veering off to the left here, like this circle that's going more left. You want to almost position yourself almost close to the wall, but if you end up hitting the cinematic, it's okay. You can just hop over and get it, and there you go. If you do it correctly, I noticed when I did that, everything behind me despawned, and so when rooms like to tend, I'm sorry, I should restart this. So when you get close to a room and everything will start loading in, everything from behind you will start to despawn because you already moved past from that location. So once you have done that, you can just essentially come around the corner, and then there will be a drop off, and you can just follow the trail that leads to the main door, or I'm sorry, the main exit doors. So let's say you missed your jump and you hit the cutscene, you hit the cinematic. Well, what do you do now? Well, there's a few alternatives you can do, whichever is easier for you to do. You can jump on the receptionist desk, do the same tactic, jump on this pillar, or I'm sorry, this advertisement pillar here, and then just jump to your left, and you should be able to get in. I'll just try it again, so that way you have an idea with what I'm talking about here. And there you go, you're in. There's that method. Or if you know your skills and you want to test the scurry hop more efficiently, you can do it again by just jumping over it like so. Sometimes I get a bit too cocky, and if I don't make it, I press X and square at the same time. It gives me an extra boost, and you might want to use that especially in different rooms that offer more of a difficulty spike in terms of elevation and height, just depending on where you need to go. So I'm going to drop down and head to the exit doors. I wonder if I can hit that. No? Okay. I was curious. I wasn't too sure. And then what you want to do, you want to make sure you have your character hit in this corner. Just roughly, I want to say about at least 5, not even 10 seconds. Make sure you're in that corner. But if you hit the percent bar, that will happen. But if you've done it successfully, the percent bar actually won't appear. So,
Adam.
and then you can skip that cinematic with no problem. That's however you go about speedrunning the game. You can use L2, X, make sure you get up there quickly. I like using the I spam the scurry hop quite a lot. And you can also use the lamps to your advantage to get higher, so you can avoid the spider welders that are grounded. This hallway is a bit lengthy, only because the spider welders will hit you if you're not careful. And then here is the cafe doors. So once you reach this part, you can have the option to hit the checkpoint, right? And once you've done that, once the game officially says that you hit that checkpoint, and they start talking, like the monologue and the narrations of the genuine voice, and I believe the cafe lady narration plays, you can quickly log out of the game and then log back in, and there should be Hypersnacks on the very far left hand side of the Franklin D. Mann statue above. You can get those Hypersnacks, and I'll show you. I'll demonstrate it right here. First text bar.
Now entering main hub.
There you go. And once you see that part, quickly go press start. And once you hear them, you just gotta make sure that you're officially in this part, and then you can log out.
Please refrain from antagonizing.
And as you can tell, you can still hear them talk as soon as you log out. Quickly log back in. And then they should spawn in the Hypersnacks, which is right above there. I don't know if you can see it, but I will demonstrate this one more time for this extended scurry hop. Just do the same thing. I'm sorry. An extended scurry hop is just square and circle after those following actions. So the scurry hop, basically L2. You don't even want to like hold it like too long. You're just holding it for a second and then just doing the regular quad jump, but it's making your quad jump go a little bit more higher. I didn't mean to do that. And there you go. You're up here. I believe I fixed this. Yep, already shown that. You can just get the Hypersnacks. As you can see, I'm already level 3. I did beat up, I believe, a rental cop, I think. Get an extra Hypersnack from earlier. And once you're here, you can take this route. You don't have to hit that Power Flies bubble, because that involves having to activate the cafe doors, which is in the cafeteria, to beat up the lunch lady. As if you want to, you can. So once you get to this part, you can just jump down. The cinematic will play, and you already got the glide. Once you've done that, make sure, and I highly advise you do this first and foremost, come to the save terminal and save, because that will be the best alternative. I'm sorry, the best way to utilize death warps in the game, and that will be something I'll have to explain maybe in a different video, for me just showcasing these glitches, skips, and other pretty cool moves that you can do in the game. And then so the cafe also has a plethora of skips, and I won't say, well, there's one glitch you can do, one out of bounds glitch, and several skips you can do. So for this case, I'm going to go up to the cafe, which is, I'm going to take the escalator. I'm going to be on the rail, and I can jump all the way up just by pressing a regular X button. Get these Hypersnacks if you need to. And then since you're not grounded and you didn't activate the elevator, you can essentially just climb all the way up to the tip top just by parkouring. And you want to make sure you're facing towards the entrance of when you first came in. You want to, I believe it's this side. Yeah. Just regular quad jump. Once it registers that you're in the glass, you can just keep jumping. As you can tell, I am phasing. I've done this before, I don't know why it's not. There we go. And that's basically what you're doing. You're just doing regular quad jumps there in the elevator, and you're already up here, which is pretty cool. And that's pretty a simple, simplistic move so far from what I've shown. Now here comes the hard part. If you want to, you can parkour endurance or robotics. And in this case, I'll do the best at my ability to demonstrate of what I mean by that. So what I'm going to try to do is make sure that elevator is down. There we go. I think you can also do it on these sides, but you have to be careful. There we go. So you want to get to the very end of this part, which extends a little bit out. Not all the way out, but I want to be very careful. Okay. As you can tell, it is very finicky. And I'm just trying to know where the end part is. So I do apologize if this is taking a bit. A bit slow here. And I would strongly not advise you do this unless if you're really skilled at this, then kudos to you. But this is just for pure demonstration purposes. So I'm at the very far end of this ledge here. And what you want to do now is do the scurry hop extension again, but you want to make sure you get to the end of that. It looks pretty far. Don't get me wrong here. It is far. It's probably the largest gap I've ever parkoured, other than the gap in endurance. Nope. As you can tell, I did try. And it didn't go through.
I got dignity for sale. Dignity, anyone? Price to move.
And I will say the parkouring is pretty difficult, as if you so choose to do this. I'm realizing the right side is not giving me enough height there. Yep, I knew that was gonna happen. What's going on here? Okay, there we go. It's not easy parkouring, but this is another method if you so choose to do it. Maybe robotics will give me a better demonstration here.
Tell me, have I wronged you in some way?
And there we
I'm not
go.
aware of?
I'm having a bit of trouble here. I will admit to this. There we go. Now where is robotics? Here we are. There's robotics. Same gap from before, but a little bit further away. There we go. That's essentially what you're trying to do. but it's very, very tedious, I will say, and probably won't save you a lot of time. So that was that demonstration. The other one I just found out recently today, which is really cool, which is you can go up to this door, be in this corner, and just spam your triangle button, which is the robomice is essentially spawning in there and damaging the security alarm. And you can activate the door from there. And normally you're not supposed to be doing that. That's not the normal route. So that is something that the robomice is a cool feature with. You can do stuff from like outside of a room, within a room that you can't access to. I think that's pretty cool. And I might be able to utilize that a little bit more if there are other rooms just like this. So that's the very first one I was able to show you. And then if you wanted to, like, say you couldn't do that, right? Or not, you couldn't, but you chose not to do it. So take the fan, right? Come up to this hallway. Once you get to the medical elevator door, you can jump behind it. And then this is another method of getting around and getting to this door, which activates the checkpoint, and then you can access the ventilation tube. And then I want to say there's at least one more skip, which is helium skip. And this was also founded by me. And also the mouse, the robo-mouse one is also founded by me. The other ones have been founded by Rockmox, Ruick, and Jaxler. So you can take this route here. Make sure you're towards the very end of this. And you can go through that trim. I'll try again, so you can see for yourself.
Actually, this is not that bad. Can't really complain about this one.
Go towards the far end. You just carefully go through the ceiling. And there you go, you're out of bounds. And so I will tell you that this was founded by using the huge mod and giant mod, which are codes in the game that you can access through, I believe, AR Max and Game Shark codes and whatnot. And that just made my character be able to jump really high. And that was one of the features that I found in this area, which is you can jump all the way far up, and if you get to that specific brown trim, you can jump out of the map. And it allowed me to get to the elevator door, which is all the way over there. Now it's despawning because I'm still ascending with the helium bunny. I'm gonna pop. Oh. Okay, this is new to me. Okay, this is essentially a platform here. I wonder why. Maybe it's holding the... Maybe that's what it is. It's holding the thing. Okay, that's cool. Just getting a Hypersnack. And so you can utilize that helium skip to your advantage to get to the security elevator door, which you cannot access until you activate power later in the game, so you can essentially go through that door. when you turn on power. I believe that's everything. Did I feature everything else in Cafeteria? Oh, there's one more by Jaxler, which is this route. If you take the right-hand side of this, and then you want to carefully align yourself with the wall, fall down, go in the corner here, hit the or get pretty close to the save terminal. Hug that wall if you can. Just take this path. And then you're right there. You can just jump towards the security doors and you can get to the Department of Security. And that's essentially how you would go about doing that. It is a very difficult jump, or more say a carefully timed skip that you would have to go about doing that, of going around and getting to that door. But with what I just recently found was you can use the robomice right in this corner by destroying the security alarm. Then you can access helium, go out of bounds, and then you can just reach security door with ease, no problem. And you might be able to actually complete this game within maybe, because the world record by Jaxler is 19 minutes, you might be able to break it down to at least 15, maybe 14 minutes at best. That's just an assumption. That's just an estimated guess here, so I don't really know for sure. But these are all the cool moves that I was able to find, or at least some that are by other creators that they found themselves from 10 to 15 years ago by Ruix, Jaxler, Rockmox, myself, and Scarce Magician that have been runners, or at least they've been runners for quite a while for this game. And so I just been experimenting, finding more stuff about this game, trying to find more routes, finding what might be best suitable for run, or at least the best faster times, I guess. I don't know what I'm saying here. I'm just trying to do the best I can to share all the things I can show within this game, because I really love this game a lot, and I hope maybe someone else out there in the world that's watching this video might find this educational and also might utilize these skips, glitches, and tricks. And that's all I got for at least this video. And if you want to, if you'd like me to showcase more glitches, tricks, and all those great other tricks I added, sorry. Yeah, just let me know if you want more videos like this. But thanks for watching.